In this demo, we'll see how to add sorting to a list. In this app, we already have a screen created with a list displaying employees. The list data comes from the getEmployees aggregate that is defined at the screen level. To add sorting to the list, we need to get a few things set, so let's get started. We'll use a button group to allow end users to select the sort attribute. Since the button group needs a variable, let's create one. This variable will hold the option chosen by the user. To clarify the purpose of the variable, let's change its name to list sort. We need to set a value for each button group item, which will be saved in the list sort variable, and change the text inside accordingly. In this case, the value needs to be set using a special syntax with curly brackets for the entity and square brackets for the chosen attribute. This syntax is needed so that the database knows which entity and respective attribute will be used to sort the data. Let's change the text of the button group item to name. The second item will be used to sort on the employee job position. So, the value property and the text inside the button group item needs to be changed accordingly. The third and final button group item will be used to sort based on the employee's department. As for the UI, the only piece missing is to set the onChange event of the button group. This action will refresh the aggregate data. To do that, we simply need to add a refresh data, or drag the existing aggregate to the flow. One last step and we're done. Inside the aggregate, we need to add a dynamic sort that uses the list sort local variable we created previously. This will let the aggregate know what the sorting criterion is. In the user interface, we have defined a button group with 3 items that change the list sort variable. When that happens, the aggregate data is refreshed based on the list sort variable and the data will show up sorted by the selected attribute. Let's test it in the browser. Clicking on one of the buttons will change how the data is sorted. Now, let's go back to vODC Studio and expand our sorting feature. Inside the Employees screen, let's add a variable to control whether the sorting is ascending or descending. Let's quickly add a checkbox in this demo, but you could tweak the UI to make it look nicer. Now, bind the variable to the checkbox. Like we've done with the button group, the onChange event of the checkbox will also trigger the refresh client action. The final step is to edit the dynamic sort we previously added to the aggregate. Here, we will add an if condition to append the sort descending keyword when the variable is false. Previously, we tested sorting by the attributes. Now we will test inverting the sort direction with the checkbox. Clicking on the checkbox inverts the order by which the results are displayed.